Amy. She was always kind of a weird person. I guess both of us were kind of outcast some way. Maybe that's why we got along so well.
I always thought Amy was very strange, but it's kind of weird hearing someone talk about her like this. The general consensus was she was a creepy weirdo to avoid at all costs, but not for Natsuki. I hadn't thought of it that way. That probably goes for me as well, since most people tend to avoid me like the plague.
Oh, they do not. What about that one girl, Leo?
Okay, aside from her. She's just a friend of mine, that's all.
Just a friend?
What was that?
Nothing else.
Anyway, aside from her, almost everyone keeps their distance from me. I'm a bit surprised you're not one of them, if I'm being honest.
Oh? Yeah, what do you mean by that?
I'm just saying I'm surprised you're not among the many students who think I'm too creepy or dangerous to walk up and shoot the breeze with.
Hey, I'm fine to think whatever I want about whoever or whatever I want. I'm not like some people who hate on something just because it's popular or trendy.
Tcha. Well, that's good. We could use more people like that in the world who aren't just a bunch of sheep following along with whatever they're told.
Hell no am I ever going to be somebody's sheep. I can't stand someone telling me what to think or feel.
I guess that's one thing we have in common. Natsuki falls eerily silent after I say that. I would like to think I'm still on her good side, but with someone like her, it's hard to get a good read on where she stands.
This whole thing...
I'm jolted out of my thoughts when she starts speaking again.
It just feels unreal.
Yeah, losing someone important can have that effect on you. Honestly, I don't think it's ever something that completely goes away. Whether it's my grandma or Kotanoha, it's still hard to believe sometimes that they're not here. Especially when it's something like with what happens to Kotanoha. That's what hits me the hardest. Did I seriously just say that all to her out loud?
True. Considering what happened to Amy, it just feels like more of a shock since it wasn't something like cancer or leukemia or whatever. She seriously took her own life. And just before her birthday, too. What was she thinking?
Yeah, just like she did almost a year ago. We both fall silent and can't bring ourselves to say anything until the bell rings and the wild stampede of students make their way for the door. As Mio calmly leaves the room, I turn to face Natsuki again. I guess it's time to go home.
Yeah, I guess it is.
I can feel the dread in her words. That's when I remember her psychopath father. I feel my mouth move on its own as I blurt out the first thing on my mind. You've got my number, right? If you want to talk or anything, I'm around. God, why did I say that? The amount of cringe in those words. Natsuki, for whatever reason, doesn't seem to take it that way.
Yeah, I got your text last night. I'm the one who gave you my number first, you dummy. You haven't bothered texting me at all.
Hey, well, give me some time here. I don't know when's the best time for you or anything.
Well, as long as you're not texting me in the middle of my class, my whole schedule is open. Oh, and whenever I'm not eating or spending time with my dad. Otherwise, I'm not going to answer back right away. I try not to be like those bitches that leave people on red.
Alright, I'll keep that in mind. So, unlike Sakura Furuhashi from junior high, who I eventually found out was another Aika Amaya, if only I found that out before she tricked me into becoming one of her boyfriends. Yeah, before Koto there was her, and she had a nasty habit of doing just that. As I'm walking out, she tugs on my sleeve just like last time. Jeez, I could have stopped on a dime as she did that. I turn around and look at her.
One last thing. You're not creepy or whatever else you said people think about you. If any girl ever tells you that you're creepy, they're just doing that to make themselves feel better.
Before I can drum up some retort, she shuffles past me and proceeds to walk away without looking back at me. That was random. I never really gave it too much thought whenever some girl called me weird or creepy, but, well, whatever. I get myself together and continue my long, lonely walk down the hallway. Just finished having dinner and now I'm tackling today's homework, although it's not long before my mind wanders. You know what? Screw it. I decide to take Natsuki up on her offer and text her. Sure enough, it wasn't too long after that I got a reply back from her. While I'd like to make sure her dad isn't hurting her, I also don't want to overstay my welcome with her. Besides, she's only just recently decided to open up to me. I don't want to scare her off with my knowledge of the future or whatever. It's kind of weird seeing her talking with all this cute emoji language, but then maybe this is what she's really like behind closed doors. If that's the case, then I must be seeing a side of her she rarely shows anyone else. In between my homework, I send her replies here and there. Admittedly, the assignments are boring as all hell, so it's not like I'm really working on them that much. Talking to Natsuki seems very therapeutic. As stupid as it sounds, I feel a lot more relaxed talking to her about whatever silly little things she's going on about versus working on this stupid crap. At this point, I'd rather tell the teacher to put an F on this paper and let me go home. Yeah, Then again, it's almost the end of the school year. What's the point of making us do any of this stuff again? I'm almost tempted to go through her diary again, but then Natsuki's kind of right here texting me, so awkward much? Then again, it's not like I can straight up ask about her inner darkest secrets off the bat. It would still be kind of strange reading it while I'm texting her, though. Fine, I decided to just take a look anyway, and there's no new entry for today. But maybe she usually writes them before going to bed. Or maybe she's been too preoccupied to write anything at the moment. She's stopped replying to me for the moment, so I think I'm going to skim through some older entries for a little bit. Okay, this one seems a little interesting.
December 17th, 2017. It's kind of weird how Yuri and I have practically been neighbors for so long, but we don't really know much about each other. Okay, sure, we talk to each other now and again, but I don't think I could have a full conversation with her or anything. Aside from us coming from 2 different worlds, she seems to keep to herself a lot, so I'm not going to pry on or anything out of her. Her cousin Pt.11, on the other hand, God, where have you been my whole life? She almost seems too good to be true. For one thing, she's like a regular Martha Stewart when it comes to baking. Yuri introduced us not that long ago and we really hit it off. Apparently she was interested in meeting me after Yuri mentioned me randomly. While I'm wondering what exactly she's been saying about me, I won't question it since I finally have someone I can talk to on a personal level. They might look similar, but their personalities couldn't be different.
Or couldn't be more different? Yeah, it couldn't be different. They needed a more in there.
Kotanoha, or Koto as she says I can call her, is a lot more outgoing and talkative. Nothing against Yuri, but I feel like I can get to know Koto a lot more. It's like I can talk to her about anything, and she's not going to judge me or think I'm some little kid or whatever. As stupid as it sounds, Koto almost feels like the sister I always wanted but never had. She invited me over this weekend to bake some special Christmas cookies. I'd love to be able to spend the whole day with her, but you know how Dad is sometimes. Still, I'm not going to turn this down. Hell yeah, I'm in.
So that's around the time they met. Interesting. That definitely sounds a lot like you, Koto. I was never really the best at baking. At least not on my own, anyway. Sure, I baked things with my mother sometimes, but that was only when she asked if I wanted to help. Koto used to talk about baking here and there, but there wasn't much I could add to those conversations. I'm glad she was able to find someone she could talk to about all that stuff after all. And yet, I closed the book and put it back on the nightstand. No, I don't want to think about it right now. Not when I'm starting to feel a lot better now. I got a notification on my phone.
Hey, it's getting kinda late now. I think I should go to bed soon before my dad has a cab. Talk to you later, okay?
Yeah, I guess it is kind of late now, isn't it? Jeez, it's already after midnight. How long have we been at this? Oh well. I quickly type out a response to her. Alright. Yeah, it's after midnight. Okay, see you tomorrow. I'm probably not going to be as awake when I get to school, but I'd like to think it was worth it getting to talk to Natsuki. I haven't had anyone I could talk to like this in a long time. Not since... June 7th, 2019. It just keeps going, doesn't it? Homeroom is here again, and, surprise, it's another free period. Well, whatever. It's been a few days since Natsuki and I started talking more. It seems like we've really hit it off. Natsuki seems to be doing fine. It hasn't been all blue skies and sunshine, though. Sure, she's still sad about what happened to Amy, but that's understandable. There have been a few times the last couple of nights where she's texted me how she was this close to crying. Sometimes I wish I could tell her what I know, but then there's no telling what that would do to her. Not only that, but seeing how much she trusts me, it would probably destroy her inside knowing I played a small part in Amy's death. Even with Yuri's logic, the fact remains that Amy only did that because I called her. With the school year almost over, I'm not even sure how well I am going to be able to keep in touch with Natsuki when all is said and done.
Something on your mind?
What? Geez, she really needs to stop doing that. I turned around to see a puzzled look on her face. No. What makes you say that?
You mean aside from how you haven't turned around at all to say hi to me? Or how you've been sitting there with this dumb look on your face for the last 10 minutes?
Tcha. Why don't you tell me how you really feel? To the untrained eye, it might seem like we're hating on each other a bit, but in actuality, this is what our friendship has turned into. We've gotten a little more comfortable with each other to where we can joke around like this. I know she's not doing it to intentionally be a jerk to me, and I return the favor to her in kind.
For real though, what's going on with you?
I was just thinking about how we're this close to graduation time. It feels like hardly any time went by.
Tell me about it. I don't know what it is with time just speeding on through lately.
Could be worse. You could be stuck in some stupid time loop with no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I guess so. That's oddly specific, though.
I just blurted that out. She can write that off as a stupid joke, but I have to watch myself next time. I ought to change the subject a little. So, what are you going to do after we graduate?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I just figured I'd try to get some kind of job or somewhere to help out my dad.
How's it been for you all?
Well, he was actually let go from the job he already had, for one.
The hell?
Yeah, exactly what we needed to happen, right? He's been looking around, but he gets so fed up every time they reject him.
Understandable. Who would want to be rejected over and over again?
Although, this stays between you and me, got it?
Got it.
I've noticed him going out late at night. He never says anything about where he's going. One time I asked him and he just said, "I'm going out, so don't wait up." Yeah, like that's not going to make me worry or anything.
Yeah, I don't even know where to begin with that.
I do. I hope I'm wrong, but I have a feeling he's gotten mixed up with some bad people.
My eyes widen.
Yeah. I really hope I'm wrong, though.
Yeah, no kidding. I never thought things would be that bad, though.
Yeah, well, compared to before, it hasn't gotten any worse. Surprisingly, he's calmed down a bit, but he used to be something else. I'd be afraid to even be in the same room as him whenever he was stupidly drunk out of his mind. I'd rather not even go into that.
Thinking back to the diary, she never mentioned anything specific about what he did. At least, not in entries that I read, anyway. Do I even want to know? Sounds like you've had a lot of issues with your dad, then. With you, Dad. Natsuki nods sadly, not even looking at me. That's something else we have in common. Her head perks up and her eyes dart to me.
Oh? I had no idea.
Don't sweat it. It's not something I go around telling everyone anyway. Whatever the case, I bet it's kind of the same with you. Although I'm pretty sure it isn't. My dad saw me as an embarrassment, but he didn't get drunk or take it out on me. Natsuki hesitates for a moment before speaking.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm not even sure how to respond to that, or if I should respond at all. I doubt she wants to talk about it more than she already has, so I ought to think of another topic. I glance at the clock. The school day is almost over. I'm shocked at the next thing I say to her. You doing anything this weekend? What did I just say about blurting stuff out? She has this deer-in-the-headlights look when those words leave my mouth. Oh, look at the time. I should probably get going here. Sorry we couldn't continue talking about whatever we were talking about.
Not really.
Huh?
If you're going to ask me, I will at least put some backbone into it.
What the hell? Who said I was asking you out?
Whatever you say. Anyway, I think I'm good for Saturday.
Oh, well, okay.
What did you have in mind? Let me guess. You didn't think you'd get this far, did you?
What? No. Kind of, actually. I mean, I did just blurt that out without thinking. How about a walk in the park?
Ha! Isn't that what you're supposed to do on the way to the actual date?
I didn't say it was a date. And could you cut me some slack here? I didn't think you'd actually agree to this. A toast to me and my big mouth for even causing all this. How about eating at a restaurant or something?
Just so we're clear, we're talking about an actual restaurant here, right? You're not going to just take me to some cheap place that just barely passes as a restaurant, are you?
Give Monica her hand back. No, but I can't exactly treat you to some fancy place where the food and atmosphere cost more than I do, either.
As long as you don't take me somewhere like Pistol Pete's Pizza with that creepy animatronic cowboy mascot, then I'm fine with just about anything.
Great. I mean, that works for me.
After that, maybe we can go for a walk in the park or whatever you'd like you wanted.
Could you drop that already?
Afraid not. Alright, then I guess that settles it for our date.
I already told you it's not. As if on cue, the bell rings. After the horde of wild animals clamor for the door, Natsuki nonchalantly walks out into the hallway. Just as I'm getting out of my seat, she calls out to me.
We can work out the details later tonight, right?
Yeah. I'm most likely going to have to run in by my mom. Just so she knows what I'm up to and all.
Yeah, I'm going to have to figure that out, I'm gonna have to figure out how to get this by my dad.
Before I can respond to that, she turns around and continues walking. Given what I know about him, I'm not sure how her dad would respond to this. Oh crap, how's my mom going to respond to this? Well, this is going to be fun. Wait, what's today anyway? After the whole Tarankos business, I've just lost all sense of time. I quickly take out my phone and look at the calendar. What is today? It's Friday. It's tomorrow? Arrgh. How do I get myself into these messes? Alright. Looks like I have less time to work with than I did. Okay. Well, first things first. I'm going to have to tell Mom about this. I can already think of a few ways this could go. Nothing I'm looking forward to in particular either way, though. Maybe if I'm lucky, she might have some useful advice for me. I never did this with Kotonoha when I had my chance. I definitely don't want to mess anything up here. Time to face the music. With that, I fumbled with the lock and then I gently opened the door. June 8th, 2019. I don't know how much further this mod has to go. I've kind of expecting it's probably near the end, but like, thing is, I'm like, I'm short on time right now. All right, if there's more to it, it's just gonna be the last bit of it. That's going to do it for now. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you next time with the rest of Shattered Time Rewind. Hope to see you then. Bye bye.